These grip socks were an absolutely delightful surprise. I wasn't expecting that much from them, and they actually exceeded my expectations, and they are very close to being an exceptional grip sock with one major flaw, in my opinion. However, at only £12, or maybe €12, they are potentially worth your consideration. These are the Velocity grip socks, and let's get into them. There's a lot of good here. So for starters, before anybody gets upset that I'm opening a brand new pair and I've got a new pair here is the pair that I actually wore and tested. Done. On to the new stuff. This is the packaging. This is how they come. Now, for the price that you pay, that's not terrible. However, I don't love plastic packaging in general. I think more can be done. Cardboard packaging, etc. Environmental sustainability. Socks come in white or black. Those are your options. So you get to pick one or the other, no other colors. Now, why was I so surprised by these socks? Now, it's because there are hundreds, probably literally hundreds of grip socks out and about at the moment that are all the same. It is a crew sock with a silicone grip element, and I'm like, there. It's not the standard anymore. We can and should expect and demand better from our grip socks when we're paying upwards of 15, 20, 25, 30 pounds, euros for them very, very frequently. There are so many socks that fall below this level that are just simply below par. And I was kind of expecting that from the Velocity grip socks because, like I say, I'm going to check the currency. 1 second. They are €13. And I was like, another crew sock with some silicone grip elements added. And that is absolutely not what we've got. We have a proper technical material here. They've actually put some time and effort into designing something that fits very well, wicks sweat, and it feels like the material, the fit, has been thought out properly, and something has been developed that is well worth consideration. So let's break down a few of the elements. Firstly, definitely long enough through the neck here. This comes up nice and high, and you have this elasticated bit at the top, which does a really good job of holding on to just underneath your calf and keeping the socks up. That is a massive bonus. Then as we move down, let's have a look at this from this angle. You've got this kind of elasticated, reinforced section just here. Now what that does is it just holds onto just around your ankle a lot better. It feels very comfortable. And again, it just stops the socks moving and it provides you with a really good fit. Now, some of that element seems to run down through the sock itself. So this is a reasonably breathable material. It's not the most breathable I've come across, but it's reasonably breathable, but it has good structure all the way down it. It's not overly stretchy. There's still enough give in there for you to be able to get your foot in and it feel very nice, but it's still structured. Then as you continue to move down the sock, let's go here. I don't know how well you'll see this. I'll definitely zoom in. I wonder if it shows on the black socks. I don't think it does. But as you can see, or if you try and see, there are elastane elements that run through this section as well to keep that locked in just before your toes and keep the fit good. I've recently reviewed some Apex grip socks and they've taken a lot of time to design something that has a really great 360-degree fit around your feet. And I think that Velocity Grip have actually done a very similar thing. It feels like they've put time and effort into this, and I'm pretty impressed by that. In the toe area as well, you've got a good amount of reinforcement. It's good quality, and this whole sock, the material, the fit, it feels very high quality. And for a sock at €13, I wasn't really expecting that. The durability has been quite impressive. Now, why was I expecting maybe so little from these socks, and why have I been so impressed with the level of comfort, the level of build quality, the level of technology in this? Well, it comes down to the one flaw with these specific socks, and it is the grip element. So Velocity have kind of made a little bit of a deal on their website. They're a very small company, so there is limited information available through their website and channels, but you can see that they've made a deal, and they made a deal out of these arrows, this Velocity, this V-shaped grip patterning. And I don't think it's any better than any other silicone grip option that you can go and get, and therein lies the issue, it's a silicone grip, and it's quite a pronounced silicone grip. Now, it's very effective in terms of the fact that it sure as hell holds on to the bottom of your boot, and because the fit is so good on these, it also means that the sock doesn't bunch up at the back, which can happen a lot with silicone grip elements that are super grippy. They force the sock to ride up in your boot. It doesn't happen here because they have different sizes, which is great, and they fit really well. But this particular silicone grip element, while being very effective, is a little too intrusive for me, and I'm not a fan of silicone grip elements anyway. I would love to see this sock with some kind of synthetic suede element or a PVC element, or just something that isn't this big, more bulky grip element that is on here. It just doesn't feel right for me. However, with that said, at this price point, there are an awful lot of socks that are offering you a crew sock with a very similar grip element, and I cannot recommend those in any way, shape, or form. These, however, because of the materials and the fit and the innovation that's gone into it, if you are looking for a sock at that lower price point, and maybe you like a silicone element, I've actually had a few people reach out to me and say, hey, look, I like silicone elements. If you like a silicone element, that's hard to say, a silicone element, these really could be worth you checking out. They've got a lot going for them. Now, I would say in this instance, thankfully, if I turn these inside out, there is no silicone grip element on the inside. I think that would feel terrible with this particular type of silicone. So I'm glad that they don't have it on the inside, and the fit really does help the sock stay in place without the internal grips. But again, if I'm playing pie in the sky, what do I want? I kind of want internal, external, synthetic suede or PVC elements, something like that. But still a really great sock, and if you are somebody who likes a thicker grip sock, then these should absolutely be on your radar. Now, I wouldn't call them thick. Maybe I would. These are some of the thickest grip socks that I have come across in terms of just thick, dense material and exceptionally comfortable. Like I say, they do have quite good ventilation. The sweat wicking is also decent. And if that sounds like something that you would enjoy, then I definitely think it's worth considering whether these are for you. Now, what we obviously have to do is we have to rank them into my tier ranking system. If you don't know what my tier ranking system is, I will link videos to the ongoing almighty tier ranking sock videos that I am making. We're going to have up to 100 pairs, all tier ranked. But the tier ranking system is Foot Fetish for the top, Foot Spa next down, Nike Crew in the middle, Cheesy next down, and Moldy at the bottom. Best to worst. Full explanations in the full videos. And these present me with somewhat of a problem, because I have never put a sock with a silicone element above Nike Crew, because I don't think that the silicone element makes them... I think the silicone element makes them inferior in many ways, and they can't go up into that upper level. But there's a lot about this sock that I actually think is done very well. I prefer a thinner sock, but I can still absolutely appreciate this material, this construction, and what they've done with it. So the silicone element does let them down for me. I'm going to put them in Nike Crew, but I'm going to put them right at the top end of Nike Crew. So if you don't know, my tiers are also ranked within the tiers. So I'm going to put them right at the top end of Nike Crew, right on the cusp of going up into the next tier. And I genuinely think if they were to change that grip element, that would probably bump them a level. And if they were able to make maybe the material even more technical, maybe add another different type of yarn in there to aid with sweat wicking and drying and things like that, then they would really be onto something, because the construction here is exceptional. I personally like a thinner sock, as I said, but there are tons of people out there who prefer something that is a little bit thicker, and this is the way to go. I've been very impressed with these, especially for the money that you pay, and I feel like I can recommend them, and I just did. If you want to check out the full tier ranking lists, I'll start to link all of the parts around my head right now.